Hello, welcome to Avalanche Breakdown YouTube channel. Now, we were discussing ROS, Robot Operating System. We were discussing CLI tools, command line interface tools, beginner level. In that, till now we have seen how to configure the environment using TurtleSim, using nodes, topics, services, actions, parameters. Now we will be seeing using RQT console to view logs. So yeah, let's have a look at RQT console, how we can do it. So let us start let's open the documentation page. So what is the goal? To get to know the RQT console, a tool for introspecting lost messages. Background: RQT console is a GUI tool, graphic user interface tool, used to introspect log messages in ROS2. Typically, log messages show up in your terminal. With RQT console, you can collect those messages over time, view them closely, and in a more organized manner, filter them, save them, and even reload the saved files to introspect at different times. Nodes use logs to output messages concerning events and status in a variety of ways. Their content is usually information for the sake of the user. So basically what it is, so in the earlier tutorials we have seen that during actions, right, we were discussing about the keyboard, QWERTY keyboard, wherein F was the center and the keys around it were pointing to north, south, means top, bottom, left, right, top, left, top, right, like that. So you have seen that when we pressed some of those buttons, we could see some messages, log messages in the console. So those messages in many situations are very useful. And using this with the help with the help of this RQT console, what we can do is we can save the log file. Generally, what we do is after the tutorial is over, we generally press Ctrl C and close the terminal. But if we want, we can actually save all the log files. So for that, RQT console is very useful. So first of all, let us if we start it, then we'll get to know. So yeah, setup is to run this command. I will open the terminal first of all. So yeah, I will copy and paste it here. Once I do it, I see a window like this. Here are the messages. Here is a part for exclude messages, and here is something for highlight messages. Also, there are some buttons which I would like to explain. This broomstick is for clearing this thing, and if you see there, this icon, this is for load a message file. So suppose previously you have saved some log message file, you can load it from here. And then this one, save currently displayed message to a file. Suppose means in some time you will get to know how we can see the messages, but suppose these messages you want to save, then you can press this thing. Yeah, so this is just a basic explanation of this window which we are seeing in front of us. So now let us move a little bit ahead. Now we have seen this thing. Now explanation. The first section of the console is where log message from your system will display. That is here. In the middle you have option to filter messages by excluding severity levels. What does it mean? So as I said, here there are some options. So these are something that you want to exclude the messages. So based on debug, info, warn, error, fatal, these are the levels of messages, are levels of severity. What they are, we'll get to know in some point of time, but basically they are what these are severity levels. You can add more exclusion filters using the plugin plus sign button to the right. So here is a plus button as well. If you press this, so now we have with severities, right, but you can delete it as well, and you can add something else, with severities from node, or you can delete it, or you can add whatever you want, right? So how it works, let us have a look. So the bottom section is for highlighting messages that include a string you want to input. I will explain this thing once this thing gets started. Okay, so once this thing starts, so now this is to start a new turtle sim window, so I'm opening a new window and I'm running a turtle sim node here. Copy, paste, this a new window has started. Now message on RQT console, to produce log message for RQT console to display, let's have a turtle to run into the wall. In the new terminal, enter this command. So once we run the terminal, this turtle will go here and it will go and hit the wall. So that is what we will witness now. So since now many things are there, so actually this is something that once more nodes are there, it becomes a little problematic to open all of them at the same time. I'm just copying it, this thing, and I'm pasting this command here, paste, and the turtle sim as well. Now once we press it here, enter, once we do that, we see the turtle is coming here. All these messages are actually getting saved here. Now suppose I stop this thing, I will press Control C button, this thing has stopped and these messages have also stopped. Now let us now I would like to explain it one by one, what it means and how, based on whatever we have seen till now, right? I will just put this thing here. Yeah, so I have just made it like this so that it is easy for all of us to understand. Now as I said, all the messages have been saved here. If I have pressed this button, this is like clear, all of this thing will get deleted, right? Suppose if I want to save all of them, what do I do? So this is the thing, if I when I press this, it will get saved in whatever file I want, and wherever I want it to get saved. So it opens a windows like this and we can just save it anywhere we want. Now if you see, there are some columns. First column is message, next is severity, next is node, stamp, location. Till now 720 messages have been logged with severity 1. Now if we come 1 also like this, but the first two messages which were information, and then all of them are 1. So in the exclude messages, right, suppose if I want to exclude all the info, means I don't want info now, and I press this filter, so what happens is, you see the message have, and now the messages are from 3 till 720. 2 messages number 1 and message number 2, which were info messages, are not there anymore. Then if you see 1, like I'm removing 1, now you see these are exclude messages. Now if I press 1, all the 1 messages are no more part of this message. Now we can only see info messages. So that's how it is about. Then highlight messages. Now till these was for exclude, suppose from all these messages I want to exclude something, so this. Now suppose I want to include only info, so only info messages. I want to include both info and 1, then now all the messages 1 to 720 will come. Suppose I want only 1, once again the same story, 1 and 2 are no more available. All these things I can save, and once they are done I can press this so that all of them will go. So that is what the explanation of this thing is. Now as I said that in order to stop that, we pressed Ctrl C and the node stopped. Now as we were discussing severity levels, there is no exact standard for now logger levels, right? ROS 2 logger levels are ordered by severity. Most severe is fatal, then error, next warn, info, debug. Now there is no exact standard for what each level indicates, but it's safe to assume that fatal is the most severe. Fatal message indicates that the system is going to terminate to try to protect itself from detriment, though that's something fatal is going to happen, and it is going to damage the system. That is fatal. Error, what does error mean? Message indicates significant issues that won't necessarily damage your system but are preventing it from functioning properly. Next, warn. Our message indicate unexpected activity or non-ideal results that might represent a deeper issue but don't harm functionality outright. Info. Messages indicate event and status updates that serve as a visual verification that system is running as expected. Debug is messages detail the entire step-by-step process of the system execution. So these are some messages which we can expect in ROS 2, and they can come here based on the activity which we are doing. Now if you have seen here, it is written the default level is info. So anything from info will start, right? You in the log message you can see info, warn, error and fatal, but you are not able to see the debug messages. Normally only debug messages are hidden because they are the only level less severe than info. For example, if you set the default level to warn, you would only see messages of severity, warn, error and fatal. Now by default the default thing is info, therefore you are able to see info, warn, error and fatal. Suppose if you change the default level to warn, then you will be able to see only warn, error and fatal. You will not be able to see info and debug. The severity, the order of severity is from top to bottom. Fatal is the most severe thing. So the same thing is the next thing, set the default logger level. So what I will do is, once I do this thing, right, I'm just explaining you the story. The thing is, if I change the default level to warn, right, so here I'm removing the filter. Now means in the ideal case what has happened is first two messages are info and then we get to see the warn messages. But once I change the thing to warn, right, I will not be able to see the info messages. So that's how it will be. I'm just removing the thing, and yeah, and I'm starting. I will just copy this. I will paste it in one of the terminal. Paste. Now the default has been set like this, and now after this, if I cancel it, we are seeing that warn messages only, info messages have not come. So that's why, because the default has been set as warn. Now suppose if I want to get it back once again, what do I do, right? So then what will I do is I will have to stop everything once again, cancel, and yeah, I will just clear it all, close. I will close this thing as well. Once I can Control C, close. I will close this. Now what do I do? I will change it now. Other thing. Copy, paste. Instead of warn, what was the first thing? Info. For enter. This node has started, and new window. This new window we will open that graph, which you can start by this RQT console, paste. Now this thing has started, and if I open one more terminal now, and this terminal will run the turtle sim node, right? Copy, paste. No, turtle sim is already there, so I don't have to do this. I will just crash it using this thing. Copy, paste. So yeah, I have pressed Control C now. I will just have to I think there is some small error the way in which we did it, so I'm just clearing it once again. Clear, close this also. I'm stopping, so close, close. Now I will just redo the same process once again. Now this I'm just opening the RQT console. Okay, it will start new window. Then I run this turtle sim, paste. Turtle sim has come, and now opening the third terminal. Now if you see that so there was some mistake which we did last time, because of that we were not seeing this, but now you see the info has started once again. So that's how it is. So once you do this, the thing starts to, it goes to on, but later you can use the same thing to, so that the system changes and you can get info as well. So I hope it was well understood. So we have seen how so RQT console can be very helpful if you need to closely examine the log messages from your system. You might want to examine log messages for any number of reasons, usually to find out where something went wrong and the series of events leading up to that. So yeah, I think this is very useful, and sometimes in the future, sometimes we need to debug the root cause, so that time these logs are very useful. So that's it for this video. I hope you find this useful. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.